and welcome back to Cold Waters with Captain Numpty, or David Steele. And here's me boat. We're back in the Tireless today, S88 or Sierra 88. And our mission is, well, officially we have some Russians to poke a stick at. But unofficially, we just want to survive today's engagement. Let's take a quick look at the situation room. Okay, so we have a Moskva to the north-northeast of our location, and a couple of resupply ships. But Intel has told us to expect, I believe that, let's just see, what does the documentation say? Ah yes, I quote, significant diesel-electric submarine presence is expected. Now what exactly does significant mean? Well, it means more than one. It means more than 3 or 4. Early reports would be a couple of squadrons. Now, how big's a Russian squadron of submarines? We don't know. They ain't telling us. Nobody tells me nothing. So, we just want to see if we can take out the Moskva. That would be nice. Or at least the resupply, because that's going to cripple what the Soviets do next. Now, that's the mission. Our payload is a little restricted. Let's take a quick look. Okay, so 28 tigerfish, a Moss, a single Moss, and a sub-launched harpoon. Just one. Yeah, we'll be tackling Moskva with tigerfish if we can get close enough. And that's okay. And as for the diesel electrics, we don't know quite where they are. We are in deep water, as we should be. It means that we can dive nice and deep. Most of the diesel electrics have got older equipment, including older set 65, 65-3 torpedoes, and they cannot engage us deeper than 1,300 feet. I think the T-71 or the Test 71, it's got a similar dive depth. So that means we have to worry about depth charges and U-80s. We're going to encounter some of those. There are airborne assets in the area. Now we're just off the North Cape, so we're way within range.
Come left to 050, helm I.
Of the double of 142, the maritime bear, and those things are nasty. And of course the Moskva, it's a helo character or a hippie cruiser that's got lots of helicopters. Either way, it's got helicopters. There are birds in the air, and we don't have a gradient to deal with. And the weather is not, or was not great. Let's take a quick look. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, so I would say that that's it's reasonable. Kind of tempted to pop my surface sensors up, but that's going to just let everything know we're here. In a way, I kind of want to do that. It looks like a helicopter. It's close to me. It's not good.
Con, helm, steady course.
My maximum depth to engage with the harpoon is 200 feet, 190 feet I think, and the tigerfish is 760 feet. So although we can dive to 2,000 feet, give or take, and evade their attacks, not necessarily be effective at that depth. Well, we can survive, which is our unofficial mission. This all said, let's get my depth down. In fact, let's just do this.
Make depth 984 feet, dive I.
We'll go to 750 feet.
Make depth 750 feet, dive I.
We're still able to engage, and we're only sort of 550 feet, 560 feet from what should be a safe depth. That doesn't mean that we will be safe, but hey. Alright, I am going to pause the recording. I'm concerned I've not detected any diesel electric boats yet, and maybe there aren't any here. But there should be somewhere. They're heading for the Moskva for a resupply. So, I'll be back. Okay. A short amount of time has passed in the real world, and a little bit longer in the game world. Here we've got a pretty good idea where those 2 targets are. Now they are 12,000 yards away, so that's quite far for a tigerfish shot. Now, if they're not going to evade, it shouldn't be a problem, but they're going to evade. I wonder if I want to get a sneaky tigerfish off now, but I think what I want to do is get my lonely moss, put that to use. So I think I'm going to get that loaded first. So, get that loaded, and then we'll use that to try and bait anything to attack that. I would say 12,000 yards could be an effective range for the tigerfish, and I can get 2 off, no problem. I actually get 3 off. I've got 3 wires, I think. I just do that. And 4th one for good measure. No, let's keep the 4th one committed for same depth as us. So here's my plan forming. I'm going to launch 3 tigerfish. I'm going to start to dive using just the ballast. Let's get myself below 1,300 feet. That's going to help. May well increase my speed to 10 knots. That gives me a bit more maneuverability. That's pretty useful. Those helos and those fixed-wing aircraft, if they're in my vicinity, will have a pretty good idea where I'm going to be. And if I can, I'm going to dogleg those torpedoes. I think I want to get ahead of these contacts if I'm able to, but that's going to be a challenge. Alright, Moss is nearly ready.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Could put the Moss ahead of me, I suppose. I mean, doesn't make that much of a difference. Right, let's actually just fire the Moss towards the targets.
Shoot tube 1. Aye, sir.
Let's get something reloaded. Okay, so first tigerfish, we'll put it here. Now, I'm pointing it at the vicinity of the target because if the wire breaks, it's going to be useful.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
It's still going to be a threat.
Shoot tube 3. Aye, sir.
All of them got launched. Right, let's move to 270.
Come left to 270. Helm aye.
To drop my depth, I think what I want to do is send them a little more ways. Well, maybe a little more ways east. Let's put this one to move pretty much straight due north. This one, we'll move it a little further east. If I can attack from a different direction, I would like
Passing
to.
800 feet.
Now, yes, I appreciate that the tigerfish are going in the same direction that I am. That they're heading west, or 2 of them are. But I think it's worth that. Okay. Now, if anything heard my launch, they didn't respond, which is nice. And I'll move to ultra quiet mode, ultra silent mode as soon as I'm able to. Since that torpedo's been launched, that tube's been launched.
Con, torpedo.
Con, helm.
Passing 900 feet.
What's going on? I'm going to keep my speed at 5 knots for now. To try and be sneaky as much as we can. It's the right time.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Okay.
Passing 1,100 feet.
It's all good.
Passing 1,200 feet.
Check depth. Got plenty of depth
Passing
there.
1,300 feet. Passing 1,400
So
feet.
should be fairly immune from
Passing
counterattack.
1,500
Or at least
feet.
from some of the weapons. Let's see. Course. Alright, well that's tough. It's a real line torpedo to 3. Yeah. We're going to take more than one tigerfish to sink the Moss. I most definitely will, because I've nerfed the warhead size in my dot mod installation to try and reflect what the Wikipedia says. And yes, the Wikipedia is no reflection of what may not be a reflection on reality of things, but it's as good as I've got.
Passing 1,600 feet.
Something fired at me. Or something fired at those torpedoes. Or something
Con,
fired.
sonar, new contact bearing. 344. Designated Sierra, 4.
Something fired at my Moss. I'm going to bet that that's a submerged contact. It may not be. It's a kilo.
Con, sonar, Sierra, 4 is classified as submerged submarine.
And it's pinging me, so we can get a very good hearing on it. Might divert 2. Let's see if we can locate this. Yeah, I'm not sure where Sierra 4 is.
Come left to 249. Helm aye.
Fairly shallow. That could bob up towards the surface and see if we can detect it, but I don't necessarily want to divert a torpedo. And it looks like it's moving away from me. can't detect me right now, at least we don't think it can. Oh, I don't know, it's kind of tempting. If that's its true location, which it might be.
Passing 1,700 feet.
Go ahead and try something.
Con, helm, steady course.
It's going to have a use at 80, which is bad news, but let's make this torpedo live. Okay. Now, supposing it is close to where the location is, move my torpedo closer to the surface. Might back ourselves a kilo. That's important because they're one of 2 types that can carry the use at 80 in this scenario, which makes them kind of deadly. And I can't detect whatever they've launched at me yet. But you can bet it's well, if it can detect me, it's going to be dangerous. Oh, it's up there. He's pegging it home. Don't blame him. Although he may not be able to detect this torpedo yet. Tigerfish is nice and quiet, which we like. Time for a swig of energy drink, I think. PG.
Passing 1,800 feet.
He's diving. His torpedo is way off the game, I think. Double check that. It's 1,500 yards away, but it's not pointing in my direction, so I'm happy with it. Let's
Come right to 285. Helm
change
high.
course again. Let's push my torpedo a little deeper. We've got a chance, I could say, of upsetting this. What I might do is ping actively with this torpedo sonar. Now,
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
the kilo has aneroic coating, which means it's going to be difficult for the torpedo to detect it.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 334.
Con, fire control,
Switch
weapon
to that
countermeasure
view.
homing.
Okay.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
It's not a tigerfish, though. It's not either.
Con, helm,
That
steady
is.
course.
Okay. The
Passing
benefit
1,900
of
feet.
active torpedo is you spook everything else. So let's give it some active torpedo, see if that works. Okay, so... Oh! That's a shame. He may not see this engagement. I think he just got him and me... Ah. Okay. We may have damaged it. I forgot to put myself in ultra silent mode. We may have damaged it. Let's take a look. Yeah, we did. And we don't know how badly damaged this thing is. It might be in a bad way. It might be okay, and we'll not know.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra, bore, last bearing 334. Contact faded.
We'll not know unless it sinks. It's maybe more accurate. Right now, meanwhile, it looks like there's a torpedo that's tracking the moss up here. Is that my torpedo? No, that's just my torpedo, but that I don't need the sonar on that one. Moss is still behind it. So I'm preparing to basically ambush this moss for its speed. What can it manage? 31 knots, okay. So I can catch it with a tigerfish. They have top speed of 35 knots, 35, 36. So we're setting up an ambush here to pretty much, it's going to eat it. Get it in the face. Now,
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
sure, I would love to just hit it once and hit the Dubner Sierra 3 once, but being realistic, the Dubner can't get away anywhere near as easily as the Mossva. Plus, the Mossva carries helicopters and they are nasty. So far, I've pretty much ignored the airborne threat. I don't think that's critical at this point, but might be a mistake. Let's give it a bit of separation here, making it that much harder for him to evade. Point of interception there. I want to bring this up here. Let's quickly check my situation. Can't really tell much about what's going on. Let's go to ultra silent mode though.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Quiet. So insane difference. I do have a wire available if I want to launch another torpedo, and I don't right now. Could stir up a hornet's nest by popping up to the surface, but
Con sonar, new contact bearing. Con sonar, launch transient from
What
Sierra
then to?
5.
now that's interesting. There's probably a torpedo here, close to torpedo 4, and it's tempting to actually engage it, or at least spook it. Let's try it. Let's spook it. We'll search for him wherever he is, and then we'll turn around and engage the Mossfer.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 062. Designated Sierra 6.
Probably a spooked 062, and that
Con,
looks like
fire control, weapon
looks
acquired.
like a Zulu. Go ahead and do some.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 007. Con sonar, new contact bearing 337. Designated Sierra 7.
Okay, so a couple of things happen there that look quite interesting. Number one is that Sierra 4, the Kilo, bought it. I suspect that it was damaged more than it could have been, and it just sank,
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
which is nice, so that's good. Meanwhile, torpedo
Con sonar,
3
noisemaker bearing 006.
appears to be harassing the Moskva.
Come right to 336.
We have-
Helm I.
Con sonar, Sierra 6 is classified as submerged submarine.
More targets to identify, and it looks like we've identified a Zulu and something else, Foxtrot.
Con sonar, Sierra 7 is classified as submerged submarine.
But right now, I'm kind of boxed in between a torpedo pinging me from the south and sonar buoys dropped by probably airborne assets. Well, yes, by airborne assets, but which ones? No.
Con sonar, Sierra 5 is classified as submerged submarine.
Tango. Okay. So, interestingly enough, I completely missed torpedo 3 engaging the Mossfer. I can't detect the
Con,
Mossfer.
helm, steady course.
We can hear if it's burning or not, though. If we select it and push F2. Doesn't sound like it's burning. Okay. Disappointing, but that's alright. Number 4, torpedo 4, is also on the way. Now, let's see. A spread of submarines around me, and I think I want to get some more munitions in the water.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, that's I guess where the Mossfer is. I think what we'll do is we'll get
Con
something out.
sonar, new contact bearing 352. Designated Sierra 8.
We can't right now, we're too deep. Okay. Let's plan to get something out towards these guys. Let's reduce my depth to 750. I have to do that the old-fashioned slow way. The Zulu.
Con sonar, Sierra 8 is classified as submerged submarine.
I wonder if this-
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 068. Contact faded.
I wonder if it's the Zulu that this
Con
torpedo's
sonar,
detected.
noisemaker.
Passing 1900
It's
feet.
not. Let's see if we can watch the Moskva. She's intact. Big hole in the backside though. And I just saw my torpedo rush round. Let's turn it back.
Con, fire control.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 8, last bearing 350.
I'd love
Contact
to
faded.
watch this thing get it.
Passing 1800 feet.
There we go. That'll do it. That'll hurt it. Now she's burning. Okay.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 323. Contact faded.
Right. Well, the Mossfer
Con
is
sonar, lost contact. Sierra 5, last bearing 042. Contact faded.
probably vulnerable to a missile attack now.
Make depth 750 feet. Dive
What I'm
high.
going to do is pick up the pace a little. Just run to 15 knots briefly.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I want to pick a fight. I want the bad guys to suddenly think, oh, here he is. Now, this might bite me.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
But I've got a hunch that the enemy are going to struggle to differentiate between me and any other submarine. This is the enemy air assets, and now they've lost one, but I know of at least 4. Yeah, I know of at least 4. And so, they only have 5 submarines in the water,
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
then fine. But
Passing 1,200 feet.
they had more. It's a lot more targets for their torpedoes to engage rather than me.
Passing 1,100 feet.
So, what could possibly go wrong, right?
Passing 1,000 feet.
I'm getting my
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Last bearing.
Passing 900 feet.
when I got my speed to 15 knots.
Rig shift for ultra quiet.
I wanted to reduce my depth a bit more aggressively. I'm now going to run back to ultra quiet, and let's accelerate time a little bit.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1. Bearing 358.
Con, dive at 750 feet. Dive high.
I can't help but feel I'm being penned in a little bit here. But that's okay. I've not got my primary target yet. Let's poke her. Well, I don't want to poke the bear here. I want to just get some encouragement from them. Encourage them to engage with me, so I don't know where they are. Against that, I want to bring a whole heap of trouble on me. So, given this is a video and this isn't necessarily what I might do in real life, let's go active with the sonar. This is going to stir up a lot of activity. Or this might stir up a lot of activity.
Con sonar switching to active search.
Give it a couple of pings.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra
Okay.
4. Bearing 338.
Did something. There's the second ping. Okay.
Con sonar new contact bearing 067.
So we
Designated
definitely got
Sierra
something
9.
engaging me.
Con sonar Sierra 9. Con sonar
Oh, yeah.
launch transient from Sierra 10.
Oh yeah.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 10. Last bearing 328. Contact con sonar launch transient from Sierra 11.
Okay, that's a lot of targets we've suddenly discovered, but we expected that. We're getting fish in the water. What I want to do is get another one. Let's send it this way.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
And I'm gonna head southwest.
Come left to 233. Helm aye.
Run to 15.
Make turns for
Actually-
15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I'm actually gonna run deep and fast. So we're gonna lose the wire on these. It's okay. This is really just to troll them.
Passing 800 feet.
Actually, we're not gonna head.
Con, fire control.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3. Last bearing.
Passing 900 feet.
We're gonna head more west. Excuse me.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Now that they've engaged us, let's set my autopilot.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
Passing 1,100 feet.
Go to test depth. Give or take enough test depth. And let's run to flank. Let's make a ton of noise.
Make turns for 32 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Last bearing 356. Contact faded.
Anything listening and not trying to evade a torpedo
Come right to 336. Helm aye.
should be hearing all of this noise I'm making, and then they'll be directing everything towards me, but I will give me an idea where they are.
Con, helm, steady course.
Run back to 5 knots.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
I'll get the tow down out once we get down below 20 knots. So, go. Gives... oh, it didn't let me. Let's try it again. There we go. Gives me much better ears. Now at this speed, 14 knots is not that effective, but my speed's coming down to 5. It means I can detect a lot more than I would otherwise. Right, I'm going to accelerate time.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 357.
Dangerous to do this because if something fires...
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 006.
something fires upon me at
Con
close
maneuvering,
range,
making turns for 5 knots.
I could be in big trouble, but I feel lucky. Oh, hello. What depth is this? Oh, it's deep. Okay. Run flank.
Make turns for 3, 2 knots. Maneuvering aye.
The reason being is that this thing could engage. If it's a use at 80, I'm in big trouble. I don't
Con
think it is.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 005. Contact faded.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
I'm pretty sure I'm safe now. My concern there was if it's a use at 80, it's gonna detect me, and I'd be in big trouble. But
Con sonar regained contact on.
it'd have got me already, and it hasn't. So it's active. It's live.
Con sonar new contact bearing 039. Designated Sierra 1, 2.
It's behind me.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 5, bearing 065. Con sonar Sierra 1, 2 is classified as submerged submarine. Con sonar
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
These contacts come out of the woodwork because we can now detect them.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 2, bearing 039. Con sonar new contact bearing 051. Designated Sierra 1, 4.
It's a Zulu.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 1. Last bearing 044. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1.
Come right to 058. Helm aye.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 2, bearing 039. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 2, last bearing 039. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 2, bearing 039. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 2, last bearing 039. Contact faded.
Okay.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 2, bearing 039. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 1, last bearing 044. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 1, bearing 044. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 2, last bearing 039. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1.
Con helm, steady course.
Okay, I've muted the crew quite a bit because they'll be telling me reports of what they've regained an awful lot. I think what's important here to say is that I'm pointing my nose at the majority of contacts. Two reasons for doing this. One, they're pinging me with active sonar. And two, there's a contact in my northwest, this Foxtrot, Sierra 7. I'd like to know where that is. Plus, if I'm going to engage something ahead of me, it's easier if my tube is pointing in its direction. So, where's Sierra 5? We don't know where Sierra 5 is, but I'm getting pinged an awful lot. I'm bringing the boat up to attack depth. Let's go ahead and increase the volume of the crew again, I think.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 1, last bearing 0.
Make turns for 10 knots.
What I
Maneuvering
may
aye.
do is bring my speed up to
Make turns for
20
20
knots.
knots. maneuvering aye.
And just to get my depth up,
Passing 1,600 feet.
we ascend much quicker at a higher speed. And I'll basically
Passing
bunt over the top
1,500
at sort of this 800 feet point to level out. I hope at attack
Passing
depth,
1,400 feet.
and we'll give them something to think
Con
about.
sonar lost contact.
Passing 1,300 feet.
Then we'll drop down again now. Meanwhile, that's something for me to
Come
think
left
about.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, very much
Make
so.
turns for 1,
This
5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Oh, it's coming down. Okay.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 1.
Passing 1,000 feet.
Well, we are ascending. It's possible
Passing 900 feet.
we'll get above the depth that this thing can engage me or not. I'm not sure. So let's bring my tow down
Passing
in.
800 feet.
I'm a bunt step. I'm
Passing
going to
700
go
feet.
ahead and push the nose forward. Let's
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 5, bearing 083.
not guided.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 3, last bearing 039. Contact faded.
I think I'm okay.
Make turns for 5.
It's hard to say.
knots.
It may yet
Maneuvering
detect
aye.
me, but if it does, I'm in a heap of trouble anyway. So let's get my depth up again. Reduce my depth even. Got
Con sonar
sidetracked.
lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 091. Contact faded.
What I really want to
Passing
do
600
is
feet.
match depth with the enemy as much as I can, because it does make my life a lot easier. Now, part of this, I think it's going to be
Con
sensible.
sonar
Give him another
Con
ping or two.
maneuvering. Making turns for 5 knots.
Passing 500 feet.
Hello. Juicy targets.
Con
So-
sonar regained contact on Sierra 8, bearing 338.
Tango's got
Con
a...
sonar launch transient from Sierra 5.
okay, this Tango got death wishes. He's fired upon me. He does, however, have
Come
U-80s,
right to
which is not
Con
great.
sonar launch transient from Sierra 8.
Go ahead and give him one of these.
Shoot 2, 4.
Con sonar
And-
launch transient from
Go ahead and
Sierra
retrieve
1,
my
0.
towed array. We're going to nose down.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra
This feels
8,
kinda
last
risky.
bearing 337. Contact faded.
Could
Con
actually
sonar
go ahead and
regained
engage the
contact
Mossfire
on
if I can get
Sierra
it
1,
harpoon
2,
ready.
bearing 0.
Passing 200 feet.
There's a lot going on, that's
Con
for sure.
sonar Sierra 1, 0 is classified as submerged submarine.
Another Tango there.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 4, bearing 0,
I think
5,
we'll get
1.
another one attempt. I
Con
suspect
sonar
that there's
regained contact on Sierra 8, bearing 337.
another one of those out there somewhere. Okay.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 4, last bearing 0, 5.
And
1.
here's the-
Contact faded.
Here's the danger. Right, I'm gonna go.
Make turns for 3.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
I am decided discretion is
Con
the better part
sonar
of valor.
lost contact. Sierra 1, 0, last bearing 3.
Passing 200 feet.
That's a torpedo right on top of me. I guess it
Con
was
sonar
dropped
lost
by the
contact. Sierra 2. Con sonar.
boat.
Torpedo in the water.
No, I
Torpedo in
figured
the
it was
water.
in- it was gonna get me.
1, 2,
It's okay.
0.
Right, let's see if we can
Passing
evade,
400 feet.
because they're always fun.
Passing 500 feet.
Con.
Missed the
Con
first
sonar,
turn. It
no
did.
longer cavitating.
Con
First the
knuckle
turn,
formed.
get my depth down, down, down.
Passing 700 feet.
Harpoon's ready now. That's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Passing 800 feet.
Turn again.
Con knuckle formed.
We can't
Passing
turn
1,000 feet.
inside it. It's circle, but that's okay.
Passing 1100 feet. Passing 1200 feet.
Okay,
Passing 1300
it's
feet.
probably gonna
Con
pick me up
sonar
again.
lost contact.
Passing 1400 feet.
When it completes its circle behind me, let's switch back to that
Passing
view there.
1500 feet.
Okay, here it comes.
Con sonar.
If
Passing
we've gotten
1600 feet.
deep enough, we're gonna be okay. Ooh, that's one
Passing
head on.
1700 feet.
I think I've gotten away with it.
Passing 1800 feet. Passing 1900 feet. Make
Okay,
depth
well, that's how you evade.
1950 feet. Dive high.
Con sonar. Launch transient from Sierra 5.
Well, could be another S88, but we'll not worry about what that is right now.
Con
Need to get out
sonar
of
regained
dodge.
contact on Sierra 7, bearing
There's Sierra 7.
286.
Mm-hmm.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Now this aircraft is probably dropping depth charges. See if we can watch that, if it is.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 279. Contact is in the baffles.
One thing I'm going to do is keep changing my heading and my depth if I need to avoid eating one of those depth charges in
Con
the face.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, 4, bearing 048. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 277. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra
Possibly
1,
popping up to
4,
make another
last
attack.
bearing
That's always
0, 4,
worthwhile.
8.
That's always
Contact
fun.
faded.
This Tango may have evaded my tigerfish, or it's been hit by it and it's not bothered. Let's just take a quick look. Doesn't look like it's
Con,
taking a
torpedo
damage.
room, tube 4 ready.
Guess it hasn't.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 105.
I feel to be aggressive. I kind of do. Let's point the nose towards it. Let's get the depth up.
1,900 feet.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7, last
Passing 1,800 feet.
600 feet depth, so we can actually attack him on the
Passing
way up.
1,700 feet. Passing 1,600 feet.
So to get a missile depth.
Make depth 190 feet. Dive high.
Get a tube ready.
Con, knuckle formed.
Knuckle something just because I feel like it. Doesn't have any purpose other than it's gonna pick up the knuckle if it somehow didn't know I was there, which it
Con
does.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing.
Con, knuckle formed.
He's doing 400 knots, like he thinks he
Passing
can
800 feet.
be sneaky. Maybe that's his plan.
Passing
Well,
700 feet.
Now firing depth, except
Con
I'm going
sonar
way too
regained
quickly.
Back emergency. Maneuvering aye. Make turns for 10 knots.
So
Maneuvering
we'll
aye.
do that and give you one of these.
Shoot 2-4.
Ooh,
Aye,
that's a
sir.
torpedo right off the
Con
nose.
sonar regained contact on Sierra.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for
He's got
10
the torpedo
knots.
guided. He's coming up, and my torpedo is
Passing 500 feet.
same.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 268. Contact is in the baffles.
What I should be
Con
doing
sonar
is
lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 108. Contact faded. Con sonar noisemaker bearing 105.
what I should be doing is maintaining the utmost of concentration, but that's difficult to do with so much going
Passing
on.
400 feet.
What do I study or what do I concentrate on next? I would like to get a harpoon off at the Moskva.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 9, last bearing 086. Contact
No.
faded.
Be able to.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra
no, the
6,
Moskva's pretty
bearing
close.
109.
It's very bad. Let's watch
Con
this
sonar
engagement.
lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 110. Contact faded.
Passing 300
Love
feet.
it if we can give this guy a headache. Okay, that's a headache. That qualifies as one.
Con
He's
sonar regained contact on Sierra 6,
Still alive,
bearing
but-
111.
wounded. Oh, that's bad. Okay, let's get back to here. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that. But what I can do, I can get some periscope depth, pop up my sensors and see if we can detect
Make depth 40 feet. Dive high.
everything going on around me. but there's a lot happening.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 263.
These heroes and those fixed wings are going to ruin my plan here, but this is very gutsy. This works. It may not, but if it does...
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Make turns for 5.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Better have one of these to
Con,
think about.
fire control, weapon acquired.
Kill him. Go, go, go. That's really to get him off my case, because
Sierra 9, last bearing 0.
if he fires at me now, I'm in
Con,
big trouble.
Con maneuvering. Making turns
Come on,
for
give me
5.
a radar connection. Dang it. Okay, they are too
Con
close.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 9.
Too close for missiles and switching the guns. I don't know what I can do here.
Downscope.
Oh well.
Make turns for
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Yeah, I don't want to raise those
Con
masts if I'm
sonar
about to
regained
drop my
contact
depth.
on.
Make turns for 1. Make turns for 5.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Okay, come on. Get him, get him, get him.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5, last bearing 177. Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 9, last bearing 093. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 9, bearing 0.
They're making
Con
a right
maneuvering.
mess of
Making turns
engaging me.
for
They don't know where
5
I am.
knots.
This is going way better than I thought it would. They really don't know where I am. They might do now.
Flooding in the machinery
Oh.
space. Flooding in the machinery space. On.
That's just
Make
broken my
turns.
toad array.
3,
Okay,
2.
I spoke
Con
too much.
sonar, we are cavitating.
That's rather unfortunate, don't you think?
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
I lost the wire.
Con
Which
maneuvering.
now
Making
means
turns for 1 0.
Passing 300
I
feet.
may well take a
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
fish to the butt.
2 3 2.
So to speak.
6. Helm I.
Passing 400 feet. Make depth 750 feet. Dive on.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 9. Con sonar regained
Con helm. Steady course.
Okay, that's actually really bad.
Control party. Made it the machinery space.
Con sonar lost
Yeah.
contact. Sierra 5, last bearing 174. Contact is in the baffles.
The good news is I might be able to get my toad array back, but the bad news is I've got damage to the rear end of the boat, which likely means it's going to sit tail heavy. It's not. Now, I told the autopilot to get me to 750 foot depth, which means right now we overshot that by quite some way. It's going to continue to struggle with that. This moss was right in my face.
Make turns for 2 0 knots.
I mean,
Maneuvering
it
on.
is my primary mission. Oh, they're depth charging me again. Okay, let's try some evasive maneuvers
Passing
here.
700 feet.
Con
See if that
sonar
helps.
lost contact. Sierra 9,
You need
last
one of
bearing
those.
102.
Passing
Need to
600
get
feet.
down, down, down.
Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 6, bearing 13.
Quick as you like.
Make turns for 3 2 knots.
Let's go ahead and
Maneuvering
go
on.
ahead towards west.
Come right to 269. Helm I.
Passing 700 feet.
Okay. Don't want to go
Con helm. Steady
particularly
course.
deep because the problem there is the deeper you go, the more water you force into your compartments. Now, we're not under any direct attack that I can tell right now, but that rear compartment is slowly filling up with water. Okay, it's actually filling up with water
Con
quite
sonar
quickly now.
lost contact. Sierra 7, last bearing 247. Contact faded.
Depth is coming up at least, which is good. So I don't want to run to 2,000 foot depth. That's not a good idea. That will force water into the hull and will make it much harder to surface. So we'll run out west at full chat. This Tango is still ducking around behind me. He may or may not have taken a second hit. See if we get the towed
Con
array
sonar
fixed.
lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 1, 2, 2. Contact is in the baffle.
We're actually doing pretty good to maintain depth or get back up to 700 feet, so I'm very happy with that. Let's go ahead.
The total array has been repaired.
Yeah, towed array is fixed. Okay. And the rear is filling up. Maybe not filling up with water. So I let my concentration down, I let my guard down, I let a depth charge or two sneak in, but we survived. And we're still fighting capable as well. Don't see any damage to the hull. There's clearly some at the back. Well, but we seem to have done okay, so that's excellent news. Bring my speed back down to
5 knots. Maneuvering eye.
knots. I don't think my towed array is properly fixed. It's still red.
Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 1, 0.
I don't like the sound of that.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Is this Tango? On the surface.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
That's disappointing. Maybe he took a hit and he's badly
Con
holed, but
sonar noisemaker bearing 0, 3, 5.
Total array has been damaged.
that array's broken. Okay. So, okay, we've just completed our primary mission, so that's good news. Anything else now is, I say jam. Jam's not quite what I mean.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 1, 1, 3. Contact is in the baffles.
So anything else we can engage is toffee, is good news. Now this Tango ahead of us, I don't know where that is, but I think I want to ping it, because I like a good fight.
Con sonar switching to active search.
And get a distance I can, then in one of these.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Make
Turn it
turns
off.
for 1.
Go ahead,
0.
Con
and
sonar launch transient from Sierra 9.
09.
Con maneuvering. Making turns
Not
for
too concerned about that. It's a whiskey class, so it's going to be a pretty old style torpedo. If we can get our dive planes fixed, that's going to help
Con
me.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 5. Bearing 1, 1, 9.
Drop my speed to 10 knots because I want to ensure that this torpedo is wire guided to Sierra 10, and best way, 15 knots is too quick for the Tigerfish. But as we can hear,
The dive planes have been repaired.
the enemy most are definitely aware of my presence. So I'm going to reduce my depth if I can.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 2. Last bearing 0, 5, 1. Contact faded.
So
Con
that
sonar noisemaker bearing 1, 1, 4.
Whiskey thinks it's under attack by that torpedo that's not even mine.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 6.
Come right to 0, 0, 0. Helm eye.
I want to reduce my depth so I can control the flooding. I think that's important. And once that's controlled, I consider going deeper. Don't really want to right now. The hull is a little compromised.
Con helm. Steady course.
But this Tango that this torpedo is heading towards, I don't think he thinks he's been spotted. Let's take a look at him. He's not at the surface now. He's not taking any damage, I can tell. So maybe he was just evading
Con
a
sonar
torpedo.
launch transient from Sierra 1, 0.
Okay, he fired at me. It's disappointing, but expected.
Come right to 0, 4, 4. Helm
Gotta
eye.
go ahead and
Con
make
sonar
that,
noisemaker bearing 1, 1, 9.
make that torpedo live. Sierra 9 at the very bottom right of my display is about to eat something.
Con sonar
Not.
regained contact on Sierra 6. Bearing 1, 3.
That's a Soviet torpedo that's attacking it. It's not one of mine. Getting a little
Con
hoarse.
helm. Steady course.
torpedo his direction.
Passing 700 feet.
It's slowly coming up. Let's check how much flooded that compartment is. Air flooded, and this torpedo is not looking good.
Sonar
To my
regained
north,
contact on Sierra
northeast.
1-3 bearing 0-5-4.
Torpedo up towards you.
Con sonar lost
Ooh, real
contact.
close.
Sierra 1-3
close.
last bearing 0-5-4. Contact faded.
Definitely want one of those.
Con
One of
sonar
these, sunshine.
lost contact. Sierra 6 last bearing 1-4.
Alright, I think I'm good to run to flank.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra
Don't know what
1,
this torpedo
1,
is to my
bearing
northwest.
0-7-3.
Two of them.
Con sonar
Probably.
lost contact. Sierra 1-1 last bearing 0-7-4.
It's alright, I gotta go.
Making turns for 3-2 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Let's
Passing
get
700
out of here.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1. Con sonar. Torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing
Okay.
2-9-0.
So that's the, yeah, it's coming right at
Passing
me.
900 feet.
That's fine.
Passing 1,000 feet.
I mean, it's not
Con
fine,
sonar
but
lost contact.
Passing 1,100 feet.
try and get underneath it at least, because right now I'm in
1,200
a
feet.
bit of trouble. Let's just see if we
Con
can.
sonar lost.
Passing 1,300 feet.
I think I'm gonna be alright.
Passing 1,400 feet.
Oh, I don't know.
Passing 1,500 feet.
Just okay.
Passing 1,600 feet.
I did not want to be this deep.
Passing
I know.
1,700 feet.
Zach, if you're watching, which I doubt, submarine one, but that's what she said.
Passing 1,800 feet.
Yeah, going down
Con
like
sonar lost contact. Sierra 9. Last bearing 1-2-4. Contact is in the baffles.
chicken wire submarine. Let's level this
Passing
bad boy out at
1,900
1,900 feet, give or take. Come on. Level out. That's it. There we go. Good enough.
Con sonar. Noisemaker bearing 1-2-4. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 9 bearing
Okay.
1-2-3.
I'm going to run this this boat north for a time.
Maneuvering. Making turns for
I want to put a bit
3,
of separation
2
between us and the
knots.
many targets around. I'm aware that we have some resupply ships that bugged out to the north as well. Sierra 2 and Sierra 3. And I've got a harpoon. Just one harpoon, but that harpoon has got...
Passing 2,000 feet.
Oh, that's bad. That's below my test depth. The,
Passing 2,000 feet.
these harpoons have got supply boat.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 9. Last bearing 1-2-4. Contact breaking up.
Supply boat written on.
Passing 1,900 feet.
Okay, we have this
Con
coming up.
sonar new contact bearing 3-4-7. Designated Sierra 1.
There are only about
5.
15 contacts. Okay. I don't know what
Con
that is.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 8 bearing 2-9-8.
I'm going to assume it's a tango.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-2. Con sonar launch transient
And it's
from
close.
Sierra
And if it's a
1,
tango, that's
5.
it. You said 80 and I'm in
Con
big
sonar
trouble.
lost contact. Sierra 7. Last bearing 2-2-6. Contact faded.
We'll turn hard to port. We'll
Con
follow
sonar
this
regained
torpedo
contact
around.
on Sierra 7 bearing 2-2-5.
Get my
Con
depth.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 6 bearing 1-5-2.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Turn back towards him.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 8.
Alright, well, Sierra 8's
Con
ineffective.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-5.
Passing 1,900 feet.
That weapon can't reach me. Well, shouldn't be able to
Con
reach me.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 6 bearing 1-5-3.
That Tango's weapon is completely
Con
ineffective.
sonar lost contact.
Cause.
Sierra 7 last bearing 2-2-1.
As he fired it shallow.
Passing 1,900 feet.
I'm gonna bob up towards the 750 foot point. We're gonna lob one of these torpedoes in his face.
Passing 1,800 feet.
This is turning away, in which case
Con
it'll be
sonar
on
regained
his face.
Passing 1,700 feet.
I come up like a fart in a bath,
Passing 1,600 feet.
bunt over the top, give him a torpedo, and go,
Passing
see ya.
1,500 feet. Passing 1,400 feet.
Maybe we'll
Con
speed
sonar
down to
regained
10
contact.
knots.
Passing 1,300 feet.
Second.
Passing 1,200 feet.
Con sonar regained contact.
Passing 11.
10 knots, there we go.
Making turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering aye.
In the bunt maneuver.
Passing 900
Bunt
feet.
being, you kind of point the nose down, like so.
Passing 800 feet.
So he's now able to fire. Oh, wow, look at that. Come on, 760. Oh, okay, we are pretty heavy
Con
then in the
sonar
tail.
lost contact.
Yeah, we
Sierra
are.
7, last bearing 216. Contact faded.
Okay, I'm so close, but misjudged that.
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 10
I lost the wire immediately. Okay,
knots.
that's fine.
Con sonar
Whatever.
lost transient from Sierra 15.
He immediately fired upon me, so let's notch it. Let's head east.
Come right to 090.
Crank it down.
Make turns for 3, 2 knots.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the
That's
water.
bad.
Bearing 3, 4, 7.
Let's give it a noisemaker. I'm notching it turning
Con
away,
sonar
but
lost contact. Sierra.
Passing 900 feet.
turn back.
Passing 1,000 feet.
And playing with depth like this with
Passing
a
1100
damaged
feet.
ass, damaged stern, but
Passing 1,200 feet.
oh, it's a kilo. That's bad news.
Passing 1,300 feet.
Well, either way, it might.
Passing 1,400 feet.
Con sonar lost contact.
Passing 1,500 feet.
Right. Does this torpedo pick me up, or does it
Passing
pick up the kilo?
1,600 feet.
Con sonar.
Passing 1,700 feet.
Depth.
Passing 1,800 feet.
It's going for
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 213.
it's going for the kilo.
Con
Okay.
sonar noisemaker bearing
There goes his noisemaker.
282.
So he's got a use at 80 on his tail, or maybe a test 71. Hey. This is going to be very interesting for him. Killed by his own weapon. Where have we seen that before, I wonder? Well, apart from my channel, of course.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 6, last bearing 162. Contact is in the baffles.
So this use at 80
God,
should
knuckle form.
turn around and go ahead and attack him. And I'm going to use this time to just bug out
Con
north
maneuvering. Making turns for 3, 2 knots.
as quick as I can. This torpedo's tracking him
Con
down.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 8, bearing 242.
Okay.
Con
Switch back to
sonar
this view.
lost
Let me
contact.
see.
Sierra 15, last bearing 204. Contact is in the baffles.
Q. But we're only gradually reducing our depth with ballast up full. So when this torpedo has been defeated or has hit the kilo,
Con, torpedo room 2-2 ready.
I'll push up towards the surface again and see if we can detect the Dubner and at the same time get a harpoon off. My rig compartment is not completely full of water, but it must be sloshing around. It'd be very uncomfortable for the crew in there, who of course are all wearing masks, don't get me wrong. You said 80 behind me might yet detect me. They're making a ton of noise. But no, I think it's pretty shallow. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll be back when something more interesting is happening other than you watching me escape a torpedo. Hold that thought. Well, I managed to put myself on the
Con
surface.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 8, last bearing 2.
I don't know where this Dubner is.
Con
I don't know where
maneuvering.
anything
Making
is.
turns for 5.
Well, I actually tell a lie. I know where all the aircraft are. They're right behind me. Oh, there you are, Dubner. Have one of these.
Shoot 2-4.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 1.
Right, let's go back on the
Con
attack.
sonar, we are cavitating.
So we got
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 15, last bearing 179.
Passing 100 feet.
Con sonar regained contact on.
Make depth 1969 feet. Dive by.
actually no. This use at 80 is still stalking something, so I don't want to get that close to it.
Con
What
sonar
I'll do-
regained contact. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 1-1.
Yeah, I certainly got a lot of
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-1. Last bearing 158. Contact con
let's see if we
sonar.
can watch
No
that
longer
harpoon.
cavitating. sonar, noisemaker bearing 188.
Okay. The brief few moments of calm as my harpoon careers towards, we hope,
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
one of the secondary targets, and I appear to be kind of scot-free right now. 660 feet, 31 knots, I'm on my way to 32, and nothing appears to be directly attacking
Dive at 656 feet. Dive by.
attacking me. Right, looks like we got these, one of the secondary targets. That's works for me. Yeah, they might have an idea.
3, 2, 9.
I'll be a bit upset with me now. That's a sonar boy though. That's
Passing 700 feet.
not fine. I mean, you know.
Make depth 550 feet. Dive by.
Right, let's go back on the offensive, I think.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Con sonar regained
see,
contact
what can
on
we detect?
Sierra 15, bearing 193.
Still a lot out there. So if you're thinking I'm being very brave or very rash by deliberately making myself visible, I kind of wanted to gently reach the surface and not come up like a cork,
Con
which was
maneuvering. Making turns for
what happened,
1,
unfortunately.
0
Not that you got
knots.
to see it. That was a bit disappointing that in myself that happened. But not entirely unexpected. I really need to give you one of these, Sunshine.
Shoot 2-4.
I need to
Aye,
go
sir.
because I don't like the sound of these aircraft.
Make turns for 20 knots.
We got him anyway.
Maneuvering eye.
Well, that's fine. Send you over here.
Come right to 239 helm eye.
Let's watch myself down here.
Passing 800 feet.
There's a helo and a fixed wing.
Passing 900 feet.
It's going to be difficult to regroup and
Passing
detect
1,000 feet.
where the bad guys are because I don't have. Oh, they dropped something on me. I don't have a towed array. I don't have the
Passing
advantage
1,100 feet.
of such good sensors. In fact, what have I got left? 11 tiger fish, which is still pretty offensive. You don't like,
Con helm. Steady course.
don't like the tiger fish is very offensive, but well, I think this counts as a victory. So let's say we got one, well, sunk targets, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So 7 out of 15. I'd like to get maybe one more. And how hard can that be? Actually, if I don't evade very hard. So let's go ahead and just accelerate time. I know that there's stuff around me. We just don't know exactly where it is. And of course, we can't hear it doing 20 knots, but okay.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Getting an idea of where I am.
Make turns for 3, 2 knots.
So we're
Maneuvering
going to
eye.
bob down to depth. I expect to see some depth charge, some fireworks behind me.
Passing 1,200 feet.
That sounds like a torpedo. We're still
Passing 1,300 feet.
Alright, we're relatively immune from most torpedoes
Passing
at this depth.
1,400.